I just had to pop on and relay this message because, um, as it's coming to me, I believe that this message is not just for me, but for anyone who is in the same position that I am in. Um, I'm struggling lately, just a little bit, um, with being here at home. I am currently full time mom and wife, and that is pretty much all that I'm doing currently, just in this season, in this moment. And so, been here before, been in the place where I wasn't doing um, anything else except doing this. And so, what I feel like the Holy Spirit is saying to me at this moment, as I am once again pining for more, once again Um, pining for what I see other women doing, being the mom, wife, and also being successful in bringing home um, lucrative pay. That's really what it comes down to. Just really being paid and having some value behind what I do, having some monetary value behind what I do. And so, at this moment, I'm not. It's summer. I'm not working. My kids are home. They need transportation to get to all the places, the camps, the whatever, the job. My daughter is working. And so, anyway, it feels as though I am back in that place where I am bored with this just mundane motherhood life. And so I have been homeschooling. I've homeschooled for the longest. I have done, bringing home baby from the hospital and stayed with baby. I've been that mom that just stayed home and I'm here for my family. And so I knew years ago that the Lord had called me to this place just to really focus on my family, and it's just not typical. And so then I've I stayed in a place where I was just always uncomfortable, unsatisfied, and always just complaining to the Lord, like, this is not what I signed up for. I didn't foresee this. I didn't know that it would be this way. And I remember years ago, when we first got married, first started our lives as parents, I remember just talking to the Lord and complaining and saying, I did not foresee this as, you know, I didn't wish this. I did not desire this, and I didn't pray. And I didn't hear you say this when I was younger. I didn't see this. And so I felt like the Lord said to me, I believe in that moment when I was explaining to him, when I saw, like, Lord, that wasn't it. He said to me, you can't do that until you do this. You can't do the mother, you can't do the wife and mom who is out there doing a lot and the successful woman. You can't do that part until you get this. And I think it's been so many years that he said that, and I'm just now understanding that, what it means, that you can't do that part until you do this. I think there is an order to it. I think as a mom and a wife, and being given the blessing of being in that position, I believe that God already knew that I probably would have undervalued and just walked over that position as if it meant nothing, it had no value. And so he told me, he said, you can't do that until you do this. And then, not to say that I had to just be in the house, I couldn't do anything. I've had part-time jobs, I've started businesses, I've done a lot, and still here able to focus on my children. But that was the mandate, that was the core of it, just to really focusing on my family, focusing and being there for them, being there for my husband, who is the primary breadwinner of my family. And so, in that, like I said, I have been it's been a challenge, put it that way. Okay. It's really been a challenge. And I feel like even today, as I'm here, as we're sitting and doing the summer things, and I'm not employed at the moment. I'm not working. I'm not doing it much of anything besides just taking them where they need to go, camps and work and whatever. Um, Complaining again. And I feel the presence of the Lord just telling me, and perhaps he's telling you right now, that don't do not undervalue this position of motherhood. Do not look past it or look at it like this is some burden. This is a blessing. It is a blessing to be a mother. And I get it. There are some moms out there that you have to work and you have to put your children in school and you have to do certain things to be able to sustain your family. I am not talking about that, Mom. There are a group of us, there's a remnant of us who have to, and we've been mandated to focus on our families. We have been mandated, we have been called by the Lord to do this. And I just want to say, and I believe that it's a special calling, it's a very particular calling that that pertains to who our kids are. I really truly believe that it pertains to who our kids are. And so then our children, hear me out very clearly when I say this. Our children are no better than anyone, but their calling in life and who they are in life and who God has designed them to be, it's a very special calling. And so therefore, to nurture them in such a way and to protect them in certain ways is a necessity. And I'm just now understanding that even as I'm speaking to you, I'm talking to me, I see my children. I know that they are very special. We always say to everyone says that, right? Like their kids are special, but I know for a fact when I look at them, there's a very divine calling on their lives. Just, just like the children that we read about in the Bible who were once children and grew up to be very special people, like David and Esther and those who had to nurture them in very special ways, and how the Lord put them in a certain position, in a certain place where they weren't with any and everybody. Like, look at oh God, what's his name? Yeah, look at Moses and look at Joseph and the positioning, the places that they had to go or they could not go, or where God coved them and protected them so that as they grew having a certain mindset that he gave them, a certain a line of thought, and he made it so that they weren't clouded and crowded with thoughts from society. And I look at my children now and I say, they weren't exposed to just any and everything. And mind you, yes, they have friends and they have social outlets, but I was able to protect them, or God, he did the protection. I just walked in this thing. I didn't too much care for what I had to do my part. But what he has done, I recognize what he has done. He has allowed them to develop strong character. And even when they go out, even as they go to camp, even as wherever they go, their personalities are strong enough and developed enough so that they can be decisive, that they can know not just right from wrong, but the decisions that they make, they're very strong decisions. They're very like they're very adamant. They know exactly. They're not just they know exactly what they're talking about. They know exactly what they're thinking. They see others and they give regard to others without having to be overly influenced by others. And so there's something very special about that. And I think in this moment, like I said, I'm not just talking to you guys, but I had to record this moment and I'm going to look back at it and remind myself. So when I have those moments where I'm like, why do I always have to be here? Like, why does it always have to be about my children? Yeah, because I'm nurturing a gift from God. They are, motherhood is a divine walk. It's a divine position, a divine calling, because our children are divine, special creation. They're a very special creation. And so the very thing that God has elected and developed them to do, let me say that again. The very thing that God has called them to do, um, it's very specific, it's defined, it's very unique. It's not just something that they can just pick up at school that a teacher will just be able to relay to them. It's not just something that they can just go any old where and get it and be that person. So if this at all is your life where you have been called to motherhood, to the family life, let me tell you something right now. I'm encouraged, and I hope that you're encouraged too, that what we are experiencing at the present moment it can't compare to what we will see in the future. All those things that we read about in Psalm and Proverbs 31 about the woman, how her children will rise up and call her blessed. Yeah, lady, that is going to happen. That will happen. They'll rise up and call us blessed. They'll be thankful. They'll be all the things, and we'll be able to be all the things that the Proverbs 31 woman was too. She was very a productive woman. She was able to do things for her family. And so, but if you find yourself in a season where you're not as productive as you want to be monetarily, you know, there might be seasons like that, like where I'm going through. You may not see yourself as having that value, that monetary value, as maybe a spouse or maybe other women in corporate positions find themselves. You may not look like that in this season, but I guarantee you this: when you come out of this season, this is for me too. When you come out of this season where you're having to like really really nurture and really hold on to our children, when we come out of this season, we will be so full. Our cups will be full. We have not just had time to nurture them, but to be nurtured as well. To be nurtured as well. And so when we come out of this season, when they're no longer so dependent on us, when they're no longer in a place where we would have to be here most of the time. You know what I mean? We will have this fullness. We will have this cup full and running over. We will have this ability to help younger moms who are going in, you know what I mean, who are in this light, but we will also not have to worry about, we will also not have to worry about having to go back or having adult children who have very childlike tendencies, right? This is the important part. I know it, I feel it. This is the important part. We will have adult children who would have had developed internally, externally as well, and not just get out there and aim and reach for success, but their lives, their internal lives, their soul will be complete and whole, and not longing and searching and hungry for the things of like the world. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? These kids, I see these young adults come out here, they're hungry. I hate to hear like the thirsty generation, but our children won't come out that way. They won't be launched into adulthood in that way, where they are just trying to find themselves and trying to find who they are and trying to find acceptance and love and all of these things that we find these young adults and even older adults. I see a lot of older adults, grannies, and older people still looking for love in all the wrong places. They're still longing for people to accept them and to give them a thumbs up. Our kids, they have been in this place to be approved and loved on long enough so when they are launched into adulthood, they're making a difference. They're making a difference in this world. They're not looking for the love and trying to find success, but at the same time looking for what could have been established in childhood. Mock my words. I'm so I'm so convinced. I know this for a fact that when we come out of this season of mothering in this way, you will always be a mother to your children, but when you come out in this way of like hands-on, directly nurturing, we will come out fuller than what we ever expected. Be nurtured. Number one, be nurtured. Don't forget to be nurtured. Allow the Lord to nurture you. Number two, pour into your children. This is what that time is about. It's not about seeing how if you can get them to be so academically, achieving more than the other kids. It's not about comparison. Teach them that. It's not about comparing. It's not about if they're better than anyone. It's not about that. It's character development. It's allowing them to know who the Lord is, the Lord their God, right? It's allowing them to know who they are and who God has created them to be. It's about discovering and looking closely and finding out who are they, what do they like to do, what are they inclined to do, what are their gifts, what are their passions, right? And then to dive into that and let them be, right? without even having anyone to say that they can't, right? Like to say that they can't do it because because, whatever, because society can be like that. Like, you can't do that. Like, who are you? And so that they don't have that influence, that negative influence. They don't have even just the influence of seeing what other kids are doing and saying, well, what I'm doing, who I am is not, it must not be normal because they're not doing that. So you don't have, maybe I'm talking to those who are homeschooling moms too. Maybe this is for homeschooling moms. And like I said, maybe this is for homeschooling moms, but for those who have been assigned to being at home, this is a purpose. This has purpose. This is more. This is greater than what we could imagine right now. And so I'm recording this because when I come back, 5, 10 years later, I'm gonna see and say, I knew it. I'm going to see and I'm going to record that and say, I knew it. And God was faithful because inevitably, when you plant, you will receive a harvest. And I hope I'm not saying this vaguely and sounding like, your typical Christian, but listen to me when I say that mothering right now may feel hard, but it is worth it, honey. It is worth it. And so anyway, I'm getting off here. It's been much longer than what I expected, but I'm convinced this is for me. This is for you. Receive it and know and be encouraged and know that this season right here, it's so worth it. You will see the reward for your labor, your labor of love. Okay. Be encouraged.